And the Buddha said, Ananda, a monk does not shine by delighting in company, by taking delight in company, by devoting himself to delight in company, by delighting in society, by taking delight in society, by rejoicing in society. Indeed, Ananda, it is not possible that a monk who delights in company, takes delight in company, and devotes himself to delight in company, who delights in society, takes delight in society, and rejoices in society, will ever obtain at will, without trouble or difficulty, the bliss of renunciation, the bliss of seclusion, the bliss of peace, the bliss of enlightenment. But it can be expected that when a monk lives alone, withdrawn from society, he will obtain at will, without trouble or difficulty, the bliss of renunciation, the bliss of seclusion, the bliss of peace, the bliss of enlightenment. Indeed, Ananda, it is not possible that a monk who delights in company, takes delight in company, and devotes himself to delight in company, who delights in society, takes delight in society, and rejoices in society, will ever enter upon and abide in either the liberation by mind, in either the liberation of mind that is temporary and delectable, or in the liberation of mind that is perpetual and unshakable. But it can be expected that when a monk lives alone, withdrawn from society, he will enter upon and abide in the liberation of mind that is temporary and delectable, or in the liberation of mind that is perpetual and unshakable. I'll stop here for a moment. So here you can see, when the Buddha found out that there were many monks staying in one dwelling, this Kalakemaka's dwelling must be a very big kuti, very big building where many monks can stay. So the Buddha was not happy. The Buddha says, if monks delight in company, delight in society, it is not possible to obtain the bliss of renunciation, the bliss of seclusion, the bliss of peace, the bliss of enlightenment. This refers to the jhanas, states of meditative absorption, which are absolutely necessary for enlightenment, the steps to enlightenment. So also in the paragraph 4, the Buddha says, if a monk delights in company and rejoices in society, he cannot obtain the liberation of mind that is temporary and delectable. The liberation of mind that is temporary and delectable probably refers to the jhanas. And then, or the liberation of mind that is perpetual and unshakable. This probably refers to the paths and fruits, the Aryan stages of paths and fruits. Because the Aryan stages are perpetual, and you cannot, once you have attained it, you cannot fall out of those states, so they are perpetual and unshakable. So the liberation of mind that is temporary are the jhanas, and the liberation of mind that is perpetual are the paths and fruits, the Aryan stages. Now I come to paragraph 5. I do not see even a single kind of form, Ananda, from the change and alteration of which there would not arise sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair in one who lusts for it and takes delight in it. However, Ananda, there is this abiding discovered by the Tathagata to enter and abide in voidness internally by giving no attention to all signs. If while the Tathagata is abiding thus, he is visited by monks or nuns, by men or women lay followers, by kings or kings' ministers, by other sectarians or their disciples, then with the mind leaning to seclusion, tending and inclining to seclusion, withdrawn, delighting in renunciation, and altogether done with things that are the basis for taints, he invariably talks to them in a way concerned with dismissing them. I'll stop here for a moment. So the Buddha says there is no single form that if we lust for it and take delight in it, that it would not cause sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair to arise in us when any change occurs in that form. In other words, if we love any person, we are attached to any person, and when something happens to that person, it is inevitable that sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair would arise in us. So that's why the Buddha says, be very careful. If you don't want to suffer, don't be too attached. So when somebody comes to talk to him, he will talk in such a way so that they know that he wants to dismiss them. So they will have to make the talk as short as possible. There are some people, when they come to talk with the monk, they like to spend a lot of time talking. But if the monk is interested in meditation, he doesn't want to talk a lot. So he wants to dismiss that person.